Good morning. It's Friday, the 24th of May, and we're about to look at the astrology for the weekend, really, because the next video will be on Monday. I only record them Monday to Friday. So let's go straight to the share. And there's a lot of action going on here, so this is a cool time to be doing this. Right, so I've got us in an animated wheel so that I can move these planets forward and we can see what's happening over the next 3 days. So today, right now, the sun has now moved to 3 degrees of Gemini and Venus has moved into Gemini. So there we can see 0 of the Gemini glyph and then 34 minutes of arc. Okay, we talked yesterday about zodiac signs being places, rooms, right? So the things moved through them, moved through that place. Okay, so with the sun in this room, and now Venus has moved in, we're getting quite a lineup. The sun to start with, a fire planet, always positive, really. A great deal of the masculine energy, the yang energy of the universe, is involved with the symbolism of the sun. So it's very kind of getting out there. Okay, now Venus, a planet which is misunderstood, really, I think. And I'll tell you what, I'll do a whole session on Venus. I think we need to do that. Because it's not the most understood of planets, although everybody thinks it is because it's the planet of love. I'm going to disagree slightly with that one. I want to do Jupiter moving into Gemini in this session, so we'll come to Venus again. Anyway, imagine Venus in the room. So Venus, let's just say for now, is an attractor, like a magnet. Venus magnetizes or constellates things into our lives that we want. So I want that chocolate pudding. I want that glass of wine. I want that lovely bloke over there with the black silky hair. And yeah, that's kind of works. That's how Venus is. It's an Earth planet, and it deals with the practicalities of ownership and Earth, and the things that make us feel sensual and nurtured. Venus likes food and nature and anything that is solid and earthy and exudes luxury. Okay. Yes, that is a modern day expression of Venus. Okay. Now, those two are now sitting in Gemini in that room. Okay. And this is starting to sound like Gemini's the place to be, really. And along comes Jupiter. Now, on Sunday, Jupiter will move into that room, the Gemini place, as well. So we now can look at what that means. What fills this room now? Well, lots of fire, that's for sure. Jupiter is the highest fire planet in our solar system. And Jupiter will be, I can tell you, mightily pleased to get out of Taurus. Taurus is like incarceration for the fire and the air planets because Taurus wants to make them concrete, wants to manifest everything that they dream of, wants to bring it all into reality. This means putting in confines, putting in boundaries, putting in certainties. And Jupiter really doesn't appreciate that at all. This is an energy that wants to be wildly free, to expand and climb into the highest places. Now, I'm going to use the term high because I don't have another one. Let's think of the heavens. So it's to go up there in the magnificence and the expansion, the potentials up there are without boundary, they're infinite. And this is where Jupiter feels happiest. So Jupiter represents, for each of us, how we cope with expansion. Now, that's a strange one. I've just said cope with expansion. Surely we can cope well with something as wonderful as an expansive mood, a carefree, joyous time. Well, speak to those who have won the lottery, and suddenly this expansion and this huge wealth they've been given is a little bit more worrying than we might think. So coping with expansion, what we have to be able to do is not feel guilty, not try to nail down where every single pound is going to go or dollar, tightly put it all into places with extra safety so that we're not responsible for losing any, this kind of stuff. Well, Jupiter likes to be in a place where it can just expand and expand and expand and take on new horizons. It's about broadening horizons. It's about getting a taste or an experience of something which is beyond that which you've had experience of before. So it's always about moving forward into the unknown. And along with that, in order that we do this, is the most amazing carefree energy. Literally without care, you're removed of all worries. When you're in contact with your Jupiter, worries don't exist. There is just this glorious feeling of being invincible, and being right, and being utterly confident, and no worries. I've said that, but okay, so let's think about Jupiter on the cusp of moving into the place of Gemini. And Jupiter's getting a bit excited here. This is like, oh, look at this lot. I can expand to my wildest dreams. And Jupiter can, actually, because in air, which is what Gemini is, nothing's going to hold Jupiter back. Jupiter's going to be, whoa, just like floating like a hot air balloon, higher than a space station. just and Jupiter is, don't forget, very much deity, very much like the god of some major religions and some ancient religions. So Jupiter can walk on water for certain, and it is a planet and an energy, so a planetary energy, a planetary god, which is enormous in size and is very protective, because in the solar system, when strange objects come whizzing in, which might cause problems, smashing into planets, these objects don't, because Jupiter's mighty gravity sucks them in and disposes of them before they even get into the center. So with Jupiter, we feel that we can do anything. Now, what happens when these planets move into the place or the energy of the zodiac sign? How does this affect those who know, for instance, that their sun is in Gemini? Because when they were born, the sun was in Gemini. I'm a Gemini. It was my birthday on Monday. So I should be feeling quite happy with all this lot, shouldn't I? The reason that I should be is because I have, therefore, because my sun is in Gemini, a lot of Gemini resonance, right? So if I was to take a tuning fork and strike it, and it's resonating to a certain note, when the Gemini energy is featuring in the cosmos, in the universe, and therefore that note has been struck, that certain note, and the music, the sound of that note is ringing out through the solar system. Those with Gemini in them, in here somewhere, can resonate with that. they hear that harmony, that they hear that note. And so therefore there is an uplift to the energy of Gemini, which is a major part of me because my sun is in Gemini. So the Gemini within me is uplifted. Now, we don't have to be a Gemini sun sign. You can be born with the sun in Taurus and you can have 4 planets in Gemini, in which case you're probably more of a Geminian than a Taurian, because we all have, what you can see from this, the planets can be in different zodiac signs and they will be the stronger ones. Okay, so those of you with a Gemini sun, yes, you'll feel fabulous. But there is Gemini in every single person's chart. We're all born with this birth chart, and we all therefore have Gemini somewhere. Now, I'm just going to stop sharing while I just finish talking to you. So if you've got Gemini somewhere, well, you've got Gemini somewhere. And if you know where that is, if you know your birth chart and you know that, oh, my Gemini is in the, try and think of something, 10th house, then you know that this is where all those 3 planets are going to be meeting, the Sun, Venus, and Jupiter. Now, this means a huge uplift in your career, how people see you, how the world visualizes you, how the world sees you, what you want to leave when you pass on. It's your achievements, your highest achievements, usually your career, vocation, that kind of thing. And so if your Gemini is in the 10th house and those 3 planets are moving in there will be a huge uplift to that. Your exposure will triple or quadruple. There will be a massive expansion in your exposure to the outside world. Getting it now? That's making sense, isn't it? Okay, so an increase to my Gemini. So my Gemini isn't in a house that gives me the greatest benefit. So therefore, 3 planets moving into this place where, this is not the best place in the world for it to be, is kind of like, oh, are they okay? Even though the planets are great, some of the houses can be a bit hard work. Therefore, it doesn't always work out brilliantly. But never mind. Hey, gosh, I get benefits when other people don't for some, it all comes and moves around. What goes around comes around, and we all have our day. Okay. So this happens on Sunday. Now, as I said yesterday, you won't get, I don't think we'll feel Jupiter on Sunday. I think it will take till Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday before all of us start to feel as if we're lifting off the ground. Very carefree. All the worries don't seem to matter anymore. Everything feels sort of, woo, so expansive. I can do anything. Maybe I can redo my website now. Well, it is in Gemini. But certainly meeting with groups of friends, networking, Facebook even, that kind of thing is perfect for this energy. This energy will help that part of you. Okay, so I think that's probably enough for now. Yeah, that's right. We didn't actually, I was just thinking we didn't actually look at where the moon is now, and I'm just thinking maybe I'll flip back and just quick one for you. The moon is in Sagittarius here. See the Sagittarius cliff, the arrow, and halfway through Sagittarius, and probably on Sunday we'll move out of Sagittarius. Whilst it's in Sagittarius, we've got the moon in a fire sign, and we've got the fire signs up here, the 3 planets in fire there. That's not a planet. And so this gives a bit of a boost to the sky. Fire is energy, but it's a very positive masculine yang energy, and it does sort of like lighten the mood. So that is also going to be giving us a little more buoyancy. As the planets go into Gemini from Taurus, and I'm always saying this, they're not just entering a sign, they're also leaving a sign. And you've got to think how it feels for the Taurus energy when the planets go and leave a void, step out, leave a void, and leave them without. They have now, Elvis has left the building. So the Taurus energy, missing now 3 planets that it had last week, for instance, is going to feel a bit depleted. A lot of the warmth and heat has left. And so Taurus has got to settle down again with its earthiness and not feel so expansive. Good word. Okay, right, there we go. So I hope that was useful. And thank you so much for the comments that I'm getting on the YouTube channel. In fact, YouTube is steadily turning into probably the best platform. It is a better platform, I think, than Facebook. But anyway, so thank you very much for those. I really enjoy reading them, and honestly, thank you. I can't tell you how much it makes me think, oh yeah, wow, and it keeps me going. It really does. Otherwise, it can be a very lonely place just doing a video and posting it to listen to yourself, which I never do. I never listen to any other astrologers, never mind myself. I'm too frightened of plagiarizing them. So with my memory, I wouldn't remember where I'd heard something. So I never listen to anybody else's work. I never read anybody else's work. People say to me, "Have you heard of so and so?" And I go, "No, I haven't," because I would rather just not copy their stuff. I would feel terrible. Anyway, that's just me. I'll just muddle on by myself. Anyway, so I'll see you on Monday, and that will be great. And it will be my birthday. And I should probably keep saying it's my birthday, it's my birthday. Anyway, I'm one of these, children. When it comes to birthdays, I'm a child. Lovely to talk to you, and speak on Monday. Thank you. Bye.